everyone, welcome to my live stream. It is Tuesday and I'm streaming on a Tuesday because I was not able to stream yesterday. So it's a make-up Inktober52 stream. Yay! I feel like it's been forever. Well, it kind of has because I took the last 2 Mondays off for my epic summer vacation. But I'm back now and I've got an idea of what I'm going to draw today for my Inktober52 prompt. And for anybody who doesn't know, Inktober52 is like the Inktober challenge. Inktober basic is October. You draw a ink drawing, one a day for all 31 days of the month. Inktober52 is 52 drawings, one every week of the year. So I'm using this kit that I put together mostly with stuff that I got at the Inktober retreat last year, including this Moleskine branded official Inktober sketchbook and this collection of pens and highlighter style markers from Zebra. Oh, if you're hearing some little puppy tootsies, it's my little dog Chappie. For some reason she doesn't want to lay in her bed right now. She's laying on the, oh maybe it's because it's hot. She's laying on the hard floor. The other items that were from the retreat, these Zebra brush pens. This end is the same medium tip. The red one also has a small tip on the opposite end. And then some things I added myself. My favorite Palomino Blackwing pencil and my favorite sharpener for it. And then this little bag, it's actually was marketed as a gift bag, this cute Shiba Inu print bag. It came in a set of 3 of small, medium, and large in a Mito in a box, which they're not going to do anymore. At least it says they're not going to do them monthly anymore. So maybe I'll still be able to get a collection once in a while. But anyway, I use these for carrying stuff around and organizing. I think they work really nicely. Very cute. Okay, so the prompt for today is kind of, I like the prompts where it can be interpreted in many different ways, but this one is kind of, yeah, it's kind of hard to get around it. The prompt is mermaid. So there's not really, I mean, maybe I'm just not being clever enough and there's some way to get around it, but I've got my own theme that I do on top of the prompt, which is to make it all relating to griffins. So I'm just depicting a griffin in some way. So I was thinking about how to make that work with Mermaid, and I realized I'll just go with the little classic scene of a land creature, which will be the griffin, and then the mermaid poking out of the sea, you know, and they're just like, you know, face to face or whatever. Just to keep it easy, because I only give myself an hour. I only spend 1 day's worth of streaming time on these prompts every week. And that's a really nice limitation, because I think that if I allowed myself to just spend however much time until it was perfect, then I definitely would not be able to get one done per week. It would be always like playing catch up or just giving up because it's taking too long. Having an hour, so that I guess that's like a third limitation. 1, I use the prompt. 2, I have a theme of griffins. 3, I have my 1 hour to get it done. And I mean, it's working because I've gotten all of these done. And I think I've done an interesting variety of things. So yeah, I am not unhappy with how I have set up my Inktober rules. Oh, Exie is here. Hello! How are you? How are you doing? Are you having a good start to your week? Oh, it's already Wednesday for you, technically, right? So you're starting the halfway point of the work week. Well, of the weekdays. because I used to work a crazy schedule, so I know that it's not always a work week is not always Monday through Friday. Anyway, hope you're doing well. Okay, I only have the most generic idea in my head of how I'm gonna do this, so I'm just gonna do some really loose sketches to try and flesh out my idea and see what the heck I'm thinking. So like this is gonna be the mermaid, and mermaid, so it's definitely gonna be female because maid, because otherwise it would be a merman, because man and maid. What, is maid the opposite of man? I think it is. Anyway, this is like maid. Anyway, yeah, because it's like bridesmaid and man of honor. Is that what it's called? Anyway, yes. So it's not a merman. It's mermaid. It's specifically mermaid. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Exie says I'm sound. Thank you for asking. How are you? I'm good too. I mean, this morning I was like I thought I slept well, but then I like had no energy, so that was weird. But then for lunch I had a Mountain Dew, so I am all caffeinated now. And I'm feeling pretty energized. I'm taking a sip of water right now. And also I played my favorite band, Metallica. I've been playing their newest album, and then I played my favorite album from my first album I ever bought, my first CD that I ever bought with my own money. That's the self-titled Metallica. Other people call it the Black Album, you know? So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty energized from my music choices as well. I don't know, maybe you can tell from my voice. I feel like my voice is energized. It's quite warm in here. I turned the fan down a little bit in here because I've been listening to a few recordings to just see how the sound is coming out, and I can hear the fan noise. I just gotta have it on a little bit because it's quite warm. Quite warm in here. So weird because it was cold for summer. Cold this morning. But now in the basement it's gotten quite warm again. Okay, so I'm back to my loose sketches, and I'm adding the feet. Yes. Well, 1 foot for the gryphon. And let's see. That's funny. Chappie keeps changing. She's laying... So little dog Chappie keeps laying on the hard floor. I guess because she's hot too, so she wants to lay on the cool floor. But then Aoife just changed beds. She was in the bed that was over here, and then she just decided to go in the bed over here. Maybe she doesn't like having the fan on her, because the fan is blowing like this to get on me, so it blows across the pet bed too. Okay, so now I'm figuring out... So I want their eye line to meet. So we'll do... like this. This is about where each of their eyes is going to be. And let's see. Yeah, I guess this is good, and we'll have the other wing shown right there. And I'm going to have the griffin's mouth open a little bit. Maybe they're talking or looking kind of little surprised, or who knows, but instead of just a plain closed beak, let's have some a little more interesting, having it open a bit, I think. Okay. Now I'm starting to do a little bit more defined lines. So actually I'm going to move this wing up here. And the wings actually have this sort of like V shape, feathers that come out from the wings and sort of come together over the cross of the back. I don't know how to explain what I'm thinking, but it's not like the wings are just pasted on. Like the feathers come in a row across both wings and across the back. So So that's what I was drawing right there. But now we're onto the Gryphon fantasy part, where what is normally the back leg of a bird is the front leg of the Gryphon. And it's nice. I've been drawing so many Gryphons, I can just use my imagination to draw these scales that are on the like the bottom part of the arm. So it's like sort of leathery skin instead of feathers. And it's got grippy hands, so I'm doing a big bumps here to be like this one can grip things well. Like, I can't show it that well because my hand is not very grippy. It's like a smooth, but birds have these like big bumps, and I think it's because it helps them grab stuff. Okay, that's good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get the idea across, that's all. Now the other arm. This one I think I'll just do in silhouette. I don't know about it sticking out the back though. It's kind of distracting. Even if it would stick out the back, maybe I won't do it like that. Let's see. Okay. I just had to throw away those little eraser shavings. There. I'm doing a little bit more detail on the face of the Gryphon. There's often this line right here on the beak, so I'll include that. Trying to figure out the beak. I think that's good. And don't forget the tongue. Just keep the tongue inside of the mouth. Yeah. Oh, that's good enough. Let's work on the mermaid some. It's nice to have the 2-page spread for a scene like this, because then it's really easy. Just like, there's not going to be anything of importance being cut in half by the seam in the middle. That's what I'm getting at. And this mermaid's going to be smiling. That's just how I'm feeling. Mermaid, right, so it's definitely going to be a girl. It's definitely going to be a girl. Mermaid. I feel like I have not drawn a human, a stylized human from imagination in a long time. Because it's a mermaid, but that means the top half is a human, so, yeah. Let's see, what kind of hair? Well, even though mermaids are often drawn with the big hair so it's like flowing around, I actually have that hair in real life, and it really sucks to go in the pool and your hair is all over the place and it gets really tangled when you get out. So I am going to put her hair into some sort of, probably, let's do a few braided buns. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Or at least textured buns, because I've never actually drawn a braided bun, so I feel like, wait a minute, I don't know exactly what I'm drawing. So we'll just call it like a lumpy bun. Yeah. And imagine that the lumps are because they're braids. I don't know if that's actually how it looks, though. Oh, thank you very much. Exie says, looks pretty nice already. Yay! I'm glad you think so. I've hardly gotten anything that I think is too visible yet because of the graphite is not very, doesn't show up very well on the camera at this distance. So it's good that it's already looking good, even though there's not much on there yet. Let's see. I will give her a little bit of hairs coming off, because that always happens to me. The hairs come down out of the back. Okay. And her back, and then she's just going to be floating in the water, so that's why her back just like, just kind of trails off, because she's going to be floating comfortably. And then, so let's see, so she's resting on, let's call it, let's say it's some rock that's in the water. And then here is the water, so this is where she's going to be coming out. This is where you won't see her body anymore. And let's do some more rock right here going in. There, that's good. And then maybe some lines going up. Okay, now her arms and shoulder. Okay, so what I was imagining, so I'm like figuring this out as I go because I'm not looking at any reference. I was imagining having her, okay, maybe if so I'm imagining this. The one arm is down like this, and then the other arm is just kind of, I see. Okay, so the hand is not like this. The hand goes like this. Oh, you can't see it that well. It's not like this. It's like an angle. It's like at an angle. Well, every angle is an angle, but anyway. Ah, it's so nice when I can do something like that. So it's like you'll be able to see all the fingers. Oh, and the hand goes closer to my elbow. Haha. Okay, hold on, I gotta do it again. Okay, the knuckles are the highest point. 1, 2, 3, 4 knuckles. Okay. 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 Alright, alright. Yes. Yes. Excellent. Oh, that pinky finger needs to be a little shorter. That's good. Phew! And then the thumb won't even be visible because it goes on the down. It goes. It doesn't really make sense, but on the camera because it's a down angle. See, like the thumb is basically hidden. Okay, but you can see like this part of the hand, I think. Just going down like that though. And maybe you'd see the thumb and a little bit of the other hand like that. Haha, nice. Okay, so what will I clothe my mermaid in? Something that's easy to swim in. How about just like a halter style swimsuit? I feel like that'll be nice. So when you're in the water, so this is coming from, a lot of this is coming from personal experience. I don't like halter tops because it always makes my neck ache because there's so much pressure. The clothing is being held up by the back point on the neck. It sucks. But you're a mermaid, you're in the water, everything is lighter, so it's not going to be a problem. Yay. Chance to wear. Okay, and then let's see. Let's say, oh yeah, okay, so it's got a strap here because she's a fish for the rest. So this part will just be like so like from the strap down, it's just gonna be hanging loose. It's just like a nice loose fabric or something. So actually, wait, my eraser is on here. Whoops, I gotta pull the eraser out of here. It's getting short. Haha, yes. This is fun. I have not done a drawing quite like this in a long time, where it's like everything is from imagination, making fashion decisions, style decisions, like hairstyle, I mean. Okay. So from this point down, it's just hanging down into the water. Yes. Fun. It's fun. And then because in here is about where the fish part starts, so we'll be able to see it. So like her skin. Wait. Oh, I remember. I learned a cool way from watching my tattoo artist how to draw fish scales. And it's that you draw this kind of thing first, this kind of like grid. Of course, you'd normally want to do it a little more precise. But I only have the hour, so I'm trying to be a little fast. And then you just draw the scale on each of the bottom halves of the squares that are made. And then it looks like nice, even fish scales. Haha, fun. Okay. I think I've got everything. Oh, let us add some more background. So it's like, what is the griffin standing on? Because poor griffin is just floating in the middle of the air right here. Okay. Standing on some more rocks. This is rocky terrain. Maybe the head will just go straight back. I'm not sure. So if the head's dipping down, hold on, I do gotta look up a reference image. It's bothering me. Let's see, what should I search? Hawk looking down. Oh yeah, the neck is not that long. Oh, this one is nice. Oh, wait, can't really see it. It has a kind of square. Like the head should be much more flat. That's why it was bothering me. It looked a little too generic. So we're gonna make the forehead go up more, and then that way it gets this flat head. Do these. It had the feathers. Oh, that's instantly better. What else? What else does that picture have to show me? Oh, okay. I'm still looking. I'm scrolling. Wait, it'll be better if I go to photos instead of just whatever. I see, and it's more flat under the beak. I have it coming down like this. It does a little bit, but it should be more flat. Okay. Oh, looks a million times better. Thank goodness. It was bothering me. Ah. Yeah, I still gotta use the references. Because it's still probably not anatomically correct to any particular hawk, but it just looks so much better as a character, as a griffin character. Yes. To have this, seems to me the keys are the neck would just be flat, coming straight along the chin from the beak. And then the forehead comes like almost straight up, and then it's also flat going back. Ah! I feel much better. I'm ready to start inking now. That was really bothering me. Okay, I'll hold this up to look at the... I think that focused. Yeah, it looks pretty focused to me. Here's the pencil sketch for this scene. And then now it's time to ink. Let's see, so we've got about 35 minutes. I don't think I need to hurry, but I think I will ink with the small brush pen. So that does save me a little bit of time because I can sort of fudge the look of more worked lines without working every single line individual, like how I do with my chibis, and I go over all the lines one by one and make sure I'm happy with each one. Well, the chibi is just a teeny tiny drawing, so that's okay. And I spend multiple streams on it, but this is just a one stream thing. So by using the brush pen, I can make the lines look a little bit more interesting at the same time as making them in the first place. Plus, I can make lots of different sizes of line. Okay, since I had the reference image up anyway, I'm looking at the nostril on the beak to see what they tend to look like. Because it's so different from bird to bird. I just searched hawk. It seems like it's just kind of a little circle. Boop. There. There. Awesome. Alright, and this scales on the arm. And the hands. I didn't actually draw them on the fingers, but just draw them in with the ink. Yeah, brush pen is so fun. There are definitely things that I like to use fine liners for, but you can't beat brush pen for how fun it is. So it's a nice in between, because you can use just a regular old paintbrush with ink, but that is really hard to control, so it's not as fun for me. You have to really be just like on top of it. But with the brush pen, it's more forgiving, so you can... It's kind of ironic. It's because the media itself is not as free, you get to be more free as an artist. Because you're not stuck thinking about what is it going to do and trying to control it. Alright, I will add that little claw in after all, sticking out from the other foot. That's fine. Okay. Back to the rest of the inking. Yeah, and the brush pen is so good for just organic backgrounds. You can just get nice textures with your lines, lots of different sizes and shapes. Didn't draw it with the sketch, but I'm drawing the line kind of wobbly like this to show that the this fabric is entering the water at a different point on the plane than, say, like the back end where the fish part starts, because that's how it would be, because this is a three-dimensional person, at least that's how I imagine it, so it would enter the water in 3 dimensions as well. Oh, hooray! Yay, I'm glad. Actually says I like it. Yay! Create the nice scene. Very happy if anybody likes it. Especially because this is not what I usually do. So it's nice to get a favorable response to a more experimental or less experienced, I guess, piece. Okay, this is front of the, I guess we'll call it a shirt instead of a swimsuit, because all she does is swim, so it's kind of weird to call it a swimsuit as if that's a special clothing. Okay. Man, I think this is pretty cute, this little scene. I don't know exactly what's going on, but hey, I think I'm making it kind of look like a braid. A little bit, just barely. Yeah. Nice. Oh, I never do this, but let's add her other arm. I didn't draw that with the pencil, but alright, since I've got it up, let me check the hawk's eyes. Okay. Not really any white of the eyes showing. Just the colored iris and a pupil. Okay. So pupil will definitely be black. Let's see. What was that? Chappie just picked a different spot on the floor. If you heard her claws tip-tapping on the floor. She moved like 2 feet over and laid on the same hard floor. Oh, I bet I know what she's doing. She lays on the floor because it's hot, so she's laying on the cool floor even though it's hard. And then she's laying there for a while, so it gets hot again because she's warm. And so she moves to a different spot to get cool. I understand Kiki. Chappie. Called Chappie Kiki. Such a parent thing to do. So my mom would always call us siblings. She would go through every sibling's name until she finally got to the right one. And I do that with a pet sometimes. Call them the wrong thing. Sometimes I call my sister my pet name. You know, like I'll call my sister Kiki, like my cat or something. All the loved ones' names are hard to keep straight sometimes. I'm just looking it over for any more spots where I want to add some hatching or shading to give it a little more depth. Maybe here. Yeah, I might do all the ink just with like these brush pens because I'm liking the overall result. Yes, this whole area would be pretty shaded here on the belly of the griffin because the wing would be overhanging it. Let's add a little bit more feathers to the wing too. Not going to go too crazy adding feathers, but just a little bit more for more texture. Get the idea that this is a feathery creature. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. It turned out so cute. I just noticed that the face of the griffin is pretty cute. Yay. Nice, cute griffin. This would do a little bit of hatching in the folds of this shirt. So it's like casting, the body is casting shadow for one. And then for two, the folds might be creating shadows as well. There's some areas where instead of hatching, I can just add a little bit more ink to make the lines thicker and look like there's some shadow, a very thin but distinct shadow happening. Give her some fingernails. And add a little bit more ink to the talons as well. And I think I will define the bottoms of this front foot a little bit more. Because I like how it's kind of swirly. These lines are kind of swirly and doing whatever, but it doesn't match with how everything else is well defined. So I'm just going to define the bottom part a little bit more, and then hopefully that will make it match better with the rest of the body. I suppose I could do a little hatching on the ground where this griffin is casting a shadow with its big griffin body. It's leaning its head way over. There, that's good. I'm still looking around for any places that seem like they could use some extra work. Oh, maybe right here would be some hatching, because the mermaid is casting a shadow on the rock here. And then maybe there's a little bit of shadow here and there going up this rock, just because it's going in and out and the light hits it different ways. Looking at it some more. I'm actually pretty happy with how it looks. Like, I don't want to do too much extra. I guess this rock here can come back a little bit more. Bring the belly of the griffin all the way to the edge of the page. Maybe, okay, I'm gonna look up a ocean reference picture, because I think that we'd be able to see some sort of horizon, whether it's island or just the sea surface, you know. So let's see. Rocky seashore. Let's Google rocky seashore. Let's see if it bring me something I can use. Oh yeah. Look, Wikipedia. Good old Wikipedia. Yeah. So definitely, I mean, it's not as close in as what we're seeing here. But let's do something. Something with that. I'll go back to my pencil because I need to work it out like I worked out these. So I just want it to fill up the space. I want it to help create a more sense of they're in a place, because right now it still has that feeling of like my chibis, where it's just like a sticker. Like, it doesn't exist in a universe or anything. It just sort of exists here, and that's all that exists. So let's open the world a little bit more by adding to the background. I just don't want it to distract from what we've got going on here. So, like, I won't make it this amazing, epic, like, the subject of this is the scenery. Rather than being the subject, I just want the scenery to be a supporting character here. Let's add more evidence of the rocky shore that they're already standing on. It's just going to be in the background. This is like, I don't know, a mile away or something. I have no idea how far away it actually is because I can't judge distances like that. But just a little something to make it more interesting. We'll have it come out here too. And so it ends in the water like that. And then, so when the rock goes into the water like this, it actually, so this is the edge of the water at this point. But the edge of the water at where the horizon turns and becomes out of sight, it's actually up higher when you flatten it. So that goes there. There we go. Oh, so much better. Just a few little lines is all we needed. Okay, let's ink those. Oh, right. I want my tiny one because this is off in the distance. In fact, I'm going to get this out. I'm going to get the fine liner out because this is the smallest inking tool I have in my kit. And since this is so far away, atmospheric perspective dictates that the lines should be as thin as possible. As we're not using color, so atmospheric perspective, or we're not using color or value. So in order to imitate atmospheric perspective, using the thin lines with ink is the way to go. And it's like, no matter how rough the seas are, when it's this far away, miles and miles away, it will just always look flat because that's how big the sea is. Or like some lakes too, lakes that are so big that you can't see. You can't see the edge. Okay. Now I'm just adding some little details, a little bit. Not too much though, don't want it to take away. Maybe a little bit of hatching here and there to show that there's shading, that it's not flat. In fact, so a cool trick I learned in art school was squint your eyes when you're looking at a color image, and then it will help you see the difference in value. So when I squint my eyes and look at this, I can see the stuff that's closer, even though it's all lit up by the same bright sun. The stuff that's closer is brighter, and the stuff that's farther away, probably because it's curving in a little bit, it's darker. So I'm actually going to add even more hatching on the back. On the stuff that's on the background. That's what I'm trying to say. The stuff that's in the distance. And that will also help it stand out in this ink drawing. It'll stand out from the foreground. Because the foreground doesn't have this type of shading on it. Not a wall of shading. I mean, it has a little bit here, but... And it helps it stand out from the mermaid as well. She doesn't have exactly this style of shading either. Well, let's see. Got 10 minutes. I don't want to end early. I feel like I could end, but let's keep going. Let's keep adding some stuff. So we've got like this this reference image I'm looking at has some texture in the water. I don't want to go too crazy because it will take away from the main event, but especially around where the rocks are coming out of the water. There's like this white water happening because the waves can't be smooth anymore. They're all crazy going around the rocks. So I'm just going to do a little bit, just tap my pen just to give some texture to the ocean, especially around where the rocks are. But the key is not do too much by the rocks, because then it's like defeating the purpose. There's because it's the white water, so it's so much texture that you can't see it because it's so far away. It just looks like one white bit of water. And then I think let's do a little bit like ripples happening here, because she's probably not just sitting still. The water is probably, the waves are happening in the ocean regardless. So the water is hitting her and she's bobbing up and down, and so that's creating more waves as well. And then the water is hitting the rock here, so there's like stuff happening there, and then the energy hits the rock and then it comes back, and so there's this cross waves happening. I'm being reminded of my oceanography class, learning about how the ocean might look, you know, fairly smooth on top, but actually there's all this crazy stuff going on underneath, and you just don't even see it because it doesn't affect the top. What these it's a lot of this kind of motion. I don't remember the details, but I was very impressed by how much energy is in the ocean. And that's why lots of people are working on trying to create energy from, like, how do we harness the energy of the ocean? When I was taking that class, it was like the biggest problem seems to be, like, not really... The biggest problem with capturing the ocean energy that's just always going is that it's so strong that all the capture devices eventually get destroyed. So there's no... It's too strong for our technology. Of course, that was a couple years ago. Who knows what people have come up with since then to harness the power of the ocean for some nice clean energy. Okay, let's see. I've got the nice details in the water, and I'm happy with both of these people's faces. I'm just looking for any more little details I could add. I mean, there are clouds in this sky, but I wonder if adding clouds will just be a little too much. I kind of want to save the sky, or maybe just have like some birds in the sky. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see. Let's see, seashore. Sky birds. Well, that works. That works. Okay. So I'm looking at this one. And it's like, oh. It's like they're taking off from the shore and heading out. I'll do that. I'll have some little birds taking off and heading out. So what is the shape? Some of them are kind of cross-shaped because they're like turned, but most of them are a line with a little, like a half of a Z or something. And some of them, the half is down. This guy's going this way for some reason. Saw some cool thing over there and changed his mind. Oh no, I smudged it. Oh well. I smudged that bird. Whoopsie. Actually, they're going to be taking off from closer. Some of them. So I'm going to have some of these birds being in front of the rock. So they're not just, you know, magically in this one spot. Some of them are like standing on the rock down here. And so they're taking off like so that they're in front of the rock. Ooh, makes it so much more lively. Maybe this bird, here's a bird that got way out ahead. It's like, haha. Early bird gets the worm, or the sea worm. So nice that you can just do kind of a little X shape, and it looks like a bird with, if you've got more actual bird-shaped ones in the mix. Who knows? Maybe there's some different kinds of birds in here too. Nice. It makes it so lively. Like I feel like I can hear beep, beep, beep. Well, let's see. There's a couple minutes left. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna use my, well, if it's got any battery left in it, see if I can, I love this. Electric eraser. You press the button and then this spins really fast. I'm gonna see if I can clean up this ink that I smudged. Haha, boom! I mean, it's not perfect, but I definitely cleaned it up a bit. Sweet. Hi, Chappie. Chappie just came over and nudged me with her nose. You're saying it's about time to be done? Don't worry, Chappie. We're almost done. What the heck, Chappie? You just went potty right before she's licking my foot now. I'm almost done, girl. Alright. So the only thing is, it erased the graphite that's been smudged on here as well, so it looked uneven. So now I'm purposefully rubbing my finger on it now to try to even out the graphite. So that it doesn't have, it still looks a bit different, but that's okay. That's actually a cool thing you can do. This is ink practice, but if you're doing graphite, you can actually do the graphite all smooth and then use an eraser and you make the clouds that way and it looks so nice. It's really nice for background on a graphite drawing. Okay, well, I will write my usual stuff on this and then hold it up for a final look. Man, I think this is another one of my top faves. Well, it makes sense. If I can do it like a story, I always like it more. Mermaid. Haha, I was able to make it work. Mermaid with my Gryphon theme. So happy about that. When I first saw the prompt, I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? I'm so glad that I like Googled it. I was like, mermaid Gryphon. If you Google mermaid Gryphon, one of the search results, at least for me, was like a griffin eating mermaids, like all happy. Like it's all happy and cartoony or something. I was like, okay, well, that's a way to do it. It was a very unexpected result. Okay, so here we go. Here is my Mermaid Gryphon prompt for Inktober52 week. I put it in the title, 28. Yay! I'm so glad I was able to make it look sort of braided. At least it looks styled instead of just like a bunch of random stuff. So I'm glad I was able to make that work. My little flock of birds in the background, I think it worked pretty good. It's so interesting. The only thing I didn't need to look at any reference images is the mermaid. I was able to just make that work from imagination. So that's pretty nice. Okay. And here it is as a whole. Hooray! Another Inktober52 done! Man, I might make this a Patreon reward actually. I like it so much. And so it'll be really fun to color it digitally like I did the last one. Oh yeah, that's fine. No, I'm just so happy to have you here with me. Like, I can tell you're here because you pop in every once in a while. Exie says, thank you so much for the stream. Oh, and you're welcome, by the way. Sorry I wasn't so chatty today. See you next time. Looking amazing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. It's so nice. It is really nice. Even if it, yeah, that's why I changed my thing from let's chat to let's chat and chill. Because it's cool if people just want to chill. I'm super happy then, too. Okay, so I'm done with Inktober52. Since this was a makeup stream, I'll actually be back tomorrow for a lucky dip. Hopefully, see you then. But even if not, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching.